have some housekeeping. Our meet and greet that is next month. It's coming up soon. It's like in a month. Can you believe that? It's in a month, you guys. We're super excited about that. April 25th in Fort Worth. We have changed the time. The time is changing on it.
The time of the event.
Alert. It will be from 1 to 6, and Mock is going to be sending out notification of that. I think
probably by the end of next week ish.
Right.
But we're telling everybody now because you guys, they were gonna like rape us over food prices. We literally could not afford dinner.
Right. We couldn't afford it. It was going to be, you guys, events are becoming insane. It's becoming insane in the membrane.
Insane.
Yeah.
So, but here's the good news about that is that now everybody gets to partay in Fort Worth, maybe in the stockyards after the meet and greet.
Yeah, I think it's going to work out better because then you'll be with us from 1 to 6, and then you can go and party down at the bars or wherever if you're into that at the stockyards.
You might already be drunk.
That's true. You can just take an Uber. You can take an Uber from where we are to the stockyards and continue to party down.
That's right.
So, and then even be in bed by 10 if you wanted to. I'm just saying that would be an ideal day for me. So there you go. So
it's going to be an afternoon soiree instead of an evening, which is good for people like us who are old and who get tired.
Right. And we'll feed you. We're going to feed you.
You're definitely getting fed.
Right. So it'll be good. It'll be really fun. Yeah. I'm excited.
All right. So now that the housekeeping is out of the way, got to get to some bad news, you guys. Ugh. People are not engaged in this election cycle. And granted, this was sort of small time races in the grand scheme of things, but Democrats flipped a red seat in a Florida House district that is Trump's own district in the state legislature. And so this lady, Emily Gregory, the Democrat, won over John Maples, clearly racist, I'm sure.
Yeah, totally racist.
And so it was a special election. And some people will be like, this is not that big of a deal. And special elections they do mean things. It means stuff, you guys. This is Florida.
Yeah.
It's a reason to sound the alarms. I don't like it. And I just wanted to point it out that people need to get engaged.
Yeah, you guys, we've got to wake up and start paying attention to when these elections are. You've got to get up and you got to vote. My God.
For real. I mean,
somebody just said that these old broads are not MAGA. WTF?
What?
Bye.
Why are we not MAGA?
I know.
The accusations of all the things that we are and aren't are so tired.
And this is I swear, this is one of the reasons that we lose. It's because of people like you.
I don't.
Yeah.
Okay. And also there are a lot of, and I know we take polls with a grain of salt, but there's a lot of polling lately that shows that there's been a shift of all the young men that Trump was able to welcome into the MAGA movement and the Trump movement, really, for the last election. Those people are all fuentesing themselves right out of his orbit. And it's a danger. And they're flocking to the worst people ever, people like James Fishback. And James Fishback now he's running as a Republican in Florida for governor. And he's employing some of what he calls Trump tactics. Like, how Trump assigns a nickname to everybody. Right. And because it's Trump, it works. You know what I mean? And there's always a rationale behind it. So when he calls it Crooked Hillary, there's a reason for that. And there's a reason for the nicknames. This guy, James Fishback, is calling his primary opponent, who is Byron Donalds, he's calling him Byron to make fun of his blackness, I guess. And he was asked about that on a podcast. And here is how he explained it. This guy is disgusting.
Why do this? It causes you so much grief. It doesn't. It causes me so much humor. I mean, you said it yourself. Byron is funny. That is the reason. There's not some highfalutin, esoteric reason why I do it. Why did President Trump call Rhonda sanctimonious? Why did President Trump call her Pocahontas? I think the most effective attack against your opponent is to strip them of their name. Dale Carnegie rather famously said that the sweetest sound in the English language is a person's own name. I want to deny Byron Donalds his own name by changing. I think he should be stripped of his own humanity and fully dehumanized. If I can do that, I will win on August 18th. I will become the nominee, and I will serve as the 47th governor of the third largest state in the country.
Yeah,
but these names sometimes have meaning, right? Dan Sanctimonious, Ron Dan Sanctimonious has a meaning. Crooked Hillary has a meaning. You're just saying, look, a black guy. Isn't it funny? Like, let's call him by robe.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing, Richard.
Yeah, it is what you're doing. That actually is what you're doing. It's not okay. God, what a jerk.
He's
awful.
I can't believe that he has support
of
any kind. I mean, his policies are terrible. He's a piece of shit. And his followers are awful. I mean, everything about him is awful. Yeah. And he's going to be in contention, unfortunately, because of this younger white male vote. The Fuentes followers.
And stop using Trump tactics and calling them your own, because you're not Trump.
It doesn't
not
work for
him.
You,
so stop it. It doesn't work for you dweeb.
And now after this special election in Florida, people are wondering what the hell is going on at the RNC. And it got me to thinking, who even is in charge of the RNC? Yeah. Like, since Laura Trump left, I have no idea, or had no idea. I was yesterday years old when I found out who is actually in charge. And it's this guy. His name is Joe Grutter, and he's absolutely not doing anything, because if you think about all the special elections so far that we have lost, and the fact that he is not out in front of all of these in some visible way, there's a problem.
Well, yeah, the fact that we didn't know,
people are calling for him to be fired.
I didn't know until right now who was in charge.
That's what I'm saying.
So that the fact that you and I are this involved and plugged in, and we had no idea who the F was running the show. So that is a problem. It's a big problem. Yeah.
Anyway, just some election news to brighten everybody's spirits. Not Joke Wednesday. Mm-hmm. And to make matters worse, we're going to do our horrible people segment right out of the gate, which is unusual, but that's what we're going to do today, maybe to get it out of the way so that we can get happier and happier as the show goes on. And you know what else makes us happy, of course, is really, really, really good steak. And so we're going to tell you quickly about Backyard Butchers.
Totally. We're going to talk about meat, you guys. It's one of our newest sponsors, Backyard Butchers. They are our choice in beef and chicken and pork. They're America First. They're a Texas company. They're right up in Tyler, Texas. They're grassroots Texan ranchers. And we love that because their meat is unbelievably delicious. And I have a testimonial from C Noons, you guys. All right.
Yay!
This is from C Noons. She says, I'm not a meat eater, but Hubs is Irish stereotype, meat and potatoes and whiskey and pints for food groups. That said, I bought Backyard Butcher's box and got the tailgate box free with it. Arrived frozen, played with dry ice after blasting rock and roll, AKA old concerts, and Hubs, Brothers and Mama Noons, all tried different cuts. All of them were so amazing. Fork tender, and the taste is outrageous. That she ain't lying. Mm-hmm. Only salt and pepper, except the one made in garlic butter. We'll absolutely buy from them again. God, I'm like hungry this morning. You can't get those cuts quality in any grocery store. Love y'all, Christine Noons. Yeah, she's absolutely.
We had burgers last night, and they were phenomenal as always.
Fillets. We had fillets from them last night. So good. And now that I live around ranchers, I am aware of how the industry works and what I don't want to eat. And so you guys need to try them. Backyard Butchers is awesome. They are they're grass-fed, zero hormones, zero antibiotics, zero preservatives. Really, really good. You can taste the difference. Visit backyardbutchers.com/chicks right now. Use code chicks. It auto applies for up to 30% off your first order. You're going to get 2 free 10-ounce ribeyes and free shipping when you subscribe. So do that. You can lock in under $10 a meal while beef prices are climbing. That's backyardbutchers.com/chicks. So good. Try it.
Do it. All right. So we're going to get into some Joe Kent, some Candace, all of this stuff, because there was a big story related to Charlie Kirk's death yesterday and Joe Kent and all of that. But before we get into those nits and nats, I wanted to also point out just how anti-Trump virulently anti-Trump Candace has become. And it's problematic because, of course, she does have, unfortunately, influence. And now she is mad that Melania has invited Brigitte Macron to participate in one of her initiatives. And, if you've seen the Melania movie, then you saw Melania have a phone chat with Brigitte Macron. Like, they're tight. And it makes perfect sense that, she's invited a lot of people to the White House to help her on this children's initiative. And Brigitte is one of those people. Well, that infuriated Candace, who said, "This is an unbelievably sick world. The Trumps have made their allegiances increasingly clear. Beyond anything else, they're platforming a man who statutorily raped a child and is currently attempting to bankrupt an American citizen for telling the world the truth about it." So she's pissed because obviously she has beef with Brigitte Macron, and she doesn't like the fact that Melania has any kind of relationship with her. It's interesting that that's what she focused on, and not that France was trying to kill her. You know what I mean? Where did that story go?
Her beef is that she thinks Brigitte Macron has beef. You know what I mean? Like, she has junk. That's what she thinks, which is like that. And where is that right now? Like, what's going on with that? Do we know? Like,
I'm sorry, I missed all of that because I was frozen.
I was just saying, her beef is that she thinks Brigitte Macron has beef. Like,
right.
That's her beef. And so I'm wondering, like, what's going on with all that? And if they are trying to bankrupt her, well, I mean, she's doing a good job every day, spewing a bunch of carnival barking crap to make money for herself. I think she's fine financially.
Plenty of money.
Yeah, she's doing fine financially.
Nonsense. Exactly. It's all such nonsense. But the fact that she was so into this idea of French legionnaires trying to have her assassinated, and that storyline has completely vanished, and she's tight with the guy that was just over counterterrorism, that even makes it weirder to me. So
the Brigitte Macron thing has disappeared on her podcast. She doesn't really even talk about that anymore. You know what I mean?
That's true. I don't know that there's anything more to tell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But because she did a whole series about that. But the fact that she was saying that France was involved in trying to kill her, I feel like that's kind of a big deal. And if she was indeed connected to Joe Kent, which clearly she was, I thought it was a really interesting point that Natalie Denise brought up. She was like, if Joe Kent had loose lips when it came to feeding Candace intel, why the sudden silence when it comes to this alleged international league of assassins targeting her? Wouldn't that be the one thing that you actually bring out into the open, the kind of claim that demands public warning? Or does the urgency only show up when it's convenient?
I mean, it shows up when it makes money for her.
I just can't believe that she's like, they're trying to kill me. And then she went to what? Dollywood, like that same weekend.
Right.
It's all such
nonsense.
A grift.
It's just nonsense.
It's just
Absolutely.
such a grift.
It is a grift. She is a carnival barking grifter is what she is. A cult leader.
Yeah. It is ridiculous. All right. So then the big news from yesterday, and this was broken by Michael Schellenberger, who had interviewed Joe Kent. And essentially what happened is that Joe Kent said he would testify on behalf of the defense in Charlie Kirk's assassination case. And Schellenberger went into more detail, saying that in the interview that he conducted with Joe Kent, Kent said he knew he might be called as a witness before he made his statements that a foreign nexus might have been involved in Kirk's assassination. And he said, quote, "I was definitely warned of that over and over again. If I end up having to play that role, then I'll do it. It's not something I'm seeking." And so when Michael pressed him, saying, well, that could help Tyler Robinson, Joe's response was, well, then honestly, so be it. If it gets us to the truth, that's obviously the risk I'm taking.
I just cannot. This is so crazy. Like Robinson's fingerprints were on the rifle. He texted confessions to his lover, his trans lover. Okay. He told his parents that he did it. Mm-hmm. His parents turned him in. There's evidence here, right? I mean, this is not a case without evidence. There's actually evidence and now we've got all these people like that have talked and given all these conspiracy theories. They've thrown fresh meat to people. Which has messed up the case. I think it's already the Candaces and all these other people have messed up the case. he is so hell bent on blaming this on, I guess, the Jews. That's basically what he's trying to do. And he's become one of this foreign conspiracy people that this is going to mess things. He's going to walk. This guy's going to walk.
I can't believe that. That's the most. I was raging about this yesterday. Too. It made me so upset, especially when I saw the guys from Turning Point talking about it. Of course, we'll have that audio, but it is just, it's inexcusable that they are ruining this case. Right. And there was Blake Neff obviously was tweeting about this, saying Tyler Robinson literally confessed to his parents and was turned in by them and has his DNA all over the weapon used to kill Charlie. But some people are so obsessed with hating Israel, the same thing they're obsessed with literally every day, that they will try to help a murderer get off so they can keep pursuing their daily obsession.
I have a question, just real quick, just to interject. Like, if all these anti-Semites eradicated the remaining 16 million Jews, just hypothetically, then, when problems still exist in the world and terrorism still exists, because they still will exist, then who are they going to blame for all the shit? Who are they going to blame? I'm just hypothetically putting that out there, because there are 16 million of them left. If they did what they want to do, because these people have such hatred for Israel and Jewish people, if they got rid of them, then what? Who are they going to come for next?
Then they come after the Christians next, as we've always said.
Right.
That's the game. I don't know who these Christians, so-called Christians, end up blaming for all of the world's ills.
Well, this is the thing. Who would Candace and Tucker and this guy and Chunk Yogurt, who would they come for next? I swear, it's just, I'm enough.
I know. So this runs a little bit on the long side. I cut it quite a bit, but I wanted to hear, because basically Andrew Colvett and Blake Neff found out about this in real time as they were hosting Charlie Kirk's show. And so they were reacting, emotionally, as you would expect them to, because this is ruining the case of the, of Charlie's murderer. This guy could actually get off on who knows what sort of technicalities because of how much reasonable doubt Candace is putting into everybody's minds. It's absolute insanity, and they're right to be this
Let's just
angry.
take this out a step and explain why this is actually a really important thing. As you know, there's a lot of conspiracy theories that we do not indulge, that we do not discuss. This is different. Joe Kent was a government official at a very important post, and now he's saying he's willing to testify ostensibly on behalf of Tyler Robinson.
Yes.
Jonathan Turley, who is I guess he's a contributor to Fox News, legal contributor. He's a professor of law at George Washington University, said that 90% of the evidence accumulated against Tyler Robinson could be thrown out. So the defense could be successful in throwing out 90% of the evidence, and he would still be found guilty of murder.
Let's refresh people. There is a murder weapon that was found near the site of the shooting. It was owned by Tyler Robinson's family.
Given to him by his grandpa.
Of the caliber used to shoot Charlie. It has his DNA all over it.
All over the casings.
They release a photo of the shooter. They are not able to find him otherwise. Tyler Robinson's parents see that photo and think, that looks like Tyler. They begin asking him things like, where is I believe it was his grandfather's gun. Mm-hmm. They start asking him this. Tyler Robinson starts talking like he might kill himself. They get a friend of the family to sit down with him. He admits that it's him. They get him to drive up to Orem and turn himself in. His parents helped him turn him in. And we run into people who say that didn't happen or that's fabricated.
There's digital confessions.
There's digital confessions, but also his parents are out there. They have never stepped forward and said this is a lie. They could easily do that. It would be trivial to do that if it was the case. They have not done that. Mm-hmm. His parents turned him in. That is the most obvious piece of evidence in the world that nothing can argue around. And some people are so obsessed with these same conspiracies that they concoct for every other thing that ever happens. And so they have to shove it into this one too, because they care more about their conspiracy theories than about the person who murdered my friend facing justice. I am fed up with it.
Yeah, and you should be. And this is, I mean, this is a tough job for us today, to be honest, because this is really personal. I have been open to everything. I think, candidly, I don't get enough credit for even the fact that I shared these group chats in the first place. We shared a lot of information about trans, about Charlie, how Charlie was more concerned about than any other community about the trans coming after him. You want to know the truth? That's actually the truth. I heard over the course of the last 2 years of Charlie's life, probably about 50 references of how he knew the trans Tifa was going to come after him. And he was worried about that. That's the truth. Never mentioned one time about the Jews. Okay? Never once. And here's why it's so frustrating is because there is going to be even more evidence that is presented to the public in May at the evidentiary hearing. Okay? And it's a mountain of evidence, some of which has been made public, some of which has not been made public yet. And the prosecution is going to lay out its case against Tyler Robinson. And I'm told it's a whopper. I'm told they've got this guy dead to rights. And meanwhile, you have government officials that are now saying on the record to journalists they are willing to testify on behalf of the defense to get Tyler Robinson off the hook.
It's unreal. It's just unreal to me. And don't you think that if anybody wanted to get this guy off, it would be his parents?
Right.
I mean, the people that love him the most, no matter what. That's what's astounding to me. Like, you got people who are just complete strangers that are like, well, I mean, the Jews obviously did it, so let's get this guy off and then blame it on the Jews. But his parents are like, he did it. We turned him in. What is going on? It's like, what is our world?
And then Candace's her sense of entitlement about that she should know all of the evidence already, that she's somehow entitled to it. It's so evident in all of any clip I ever see of her now. It's maddening. And we'll have a little bit of her reaction to Blake, because you could see Blake was real animated. He was very, very upset about this, as he should be. And we'll have that in a minute. But first, we want to remind you that if you are approaching the age where you could be eligible for Medicare, I implore you to not try to sign up for that by yourself. There is help, knowledgeable help, and free help that can get you through the maze of signing up for the plan that works for you the best.
Yeah, because trusting the government or just like any insurance agent is not the best idea, you guys. It is so confusing to me. Medicare is. I was going to just trust you to help me because
we have a little bit of time, but
Mock was my go-to. I was like, I'm just going to ask her. But now I have Chapter to help me, because all I have to do is call 442-3-CHICKS and they will help me figure out what to do, because millions of seniors right now, they are on the wrong Medicare plan and they're paying way too much for plans that don't cover their needs. I got my mom, you got to call this number and make sure that you are on the right plan. Because a lot of people are just sailing along, you guys, and they're just like, it's fine, everything's fine, I'm on the right. You may not be. They will save people an average of like $1,100 a year on healthcare costs. So all you got to do is call. It is free. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. These are not sales agents. They're honest advisors. They compare and recommend every single Medicare plan to find the right fit for you. And they will answer all your questions in plain English so you understand what's going on. And they do this all for free. There's no pressure. And it's just a wonderful service. So it's common sense stuff. If you're on Medicare, you're going to be soon, call them at 442-3-CHICKS and they will review your options in under 20 minutes. That's all. So call Chapter today and talk to them. It's a trusted Medicare advisor at 442-3-CHICKS. Do it.
Do it. All right. So Michael Schellenberger was also on Charlie Kirk's show yesterday, and Andrew was expressing his frustration with this entire new story from Joe Kent.
I'm for asking questions. This is why I shared the group chat with Joe Kent in the first place. I'm not afraid of the answer to those questions. If Israel had a hand in killing Charlie, I want to know. I wanted to know. What I'm telling you is that we've had 6 months plus since that time to track down all those leads, none of which have been corroborated, none of which have actionable evidence behind, none of which have been presented in any way, shape, or form to suggest there was a probable that there's any evidence.
Overwhelming evidence very rapidly
There's zero evidence. That's my point.
Currently facing trial.
Yeah, I am willing to ask the hard questions. We want the truth. But when there's no evidence and there's no facts that would back up those questions, then you have to say, okay, moving on. All right. You couldn't corroborate it. Okay. So I'm not anti-asking questions. I'm not anti-conspiracy theories. I'm open to it all. Okay. But you have to have facts, and the recklessness with which these accusations are being thrown out now has real world implications. And it's this brain rot, Michael, that's driving me insane being on the other side of it. I will never look at a conspiracy theory the same way, having been on this side of it, because people make jumps to they jump to conclusions. They connect disparate pieces of evidence and they connect them in ways that don't make any sense. So anyways,
it is brain rot is exactly what it is. And she has gained so much power that she like, there's just this smug sense of omnipotence with her, you know, like she just thinks that she's all knowing now because all these people are feeding the bullshit that she's spewing. And she thinks that I think she truly believes she's right. I think a lot of these people think that they're right about this stuff because she's making so much money and she's got power and people are feeding her ego and like that.
Oh yeah.
And there's a power trip there. Oh, I must be right. I'm onto something. Of course it's just a lot of brain rot out there. People just want to believe. And listen, I think a lot of it, at least some of it, came from the fact that we all went through COVID, you know, and there was stuff that was peddled to us that wasn't true. And so people are not trusting. People don't trust our government. People don't trust other people. People were lied to. And so I think there are people out there like the Candaces who feed on that emotion, those people who don't trust. And they're like, ooh, I can totally monetize this, you know? I can grift. I can monetize the fact that people are not trusting and that they will buy into these conspiracy theories. Listen, I'm all for a good conspiracy theory, but there is a point where it goes way too far.
Well, and when she attacks so many people that don't deserve it, that are really supposed to be getting all of our sympathy right now. I mean, every time she goes after Erica or even, you know, Andrew Colvett or Blake, the people that were closest to him are always her biggest targets. And it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. So her response to all of this was, of course, to mock it, to be cruel as she always is. At first, she answered with email, or not email, but with tweets. And she said, it's 2026. No one's believing in a magic bullet theory. Please just shut up. This is to Blake, by the way. It's frankly annoying and patronizing to keep claiming the evidence is overwhelming. If it's so obvious, why not cease hiding behind microphones to spew propaganda and instead host open discussions? Keep in mind, she always begs people to debate her. And when they say, okay, she won't
do it. She won't do it.
Crowder's been waiting for I don't even know how long. There's been plenty of other folks who have been like, okay, I'm ready.
Right.
I'm ready to come and debate you. And then crickets.
Right.
She went on to say, it's so overwhelming. We have a gun that not even bomb dogs could trace, a magical bullet that caused minimal damage to Charlie's neck, though it would have taken down a bear. And of course, a scene that was paved over the next day. Just so overwhelming, she said, obviously very sarcastically. And then you saw how animated Blake was, and he was like exasperated and using his hands a lot, which, by the way, she also talks with her hands a lot. That's not a unique thing. And she made fun of him for it. And so here she is on her show last night making fun of Blake.
Body was buying those theatrics. I think a little too much hand action there. You know, you're like kind of doing a lot of this. The conspiracies are so obsessed with their conspiracy. It wasn't working. It just wasn't working. And I don't believe that they have suddenly, since I met with Erica on December 15th, found all of this evidence that you are somehow privy to. And you wouldn't just share with the public, hey, we actually have a video of him taking a shot.
She's entitled.
That'd be great if you said that. But you haven't.
Well, I mean, it's either you go for the hand gestures or say somebody has a micro penis. You know, this is what they're resorting to.
It's just
It's a bad look. It's a bad look.
Yeah. And then, but I mean, and then for her to say, if you have all of this new evidence is coming out, basically, why haven't I seen it? You know what I mean? Because that's her attitude. Is that she's part of this she's an investigator, essentially.
Yeah. Well, she's a narcissist, is what she is.
Exactly.
She's very self-important.
And it's odd for her to make fun of Blake using his hands because I'm going to show you her teaser for last night's show that she released on Instagram. And I have never noticed this before. My husband showed me a video that showed this phenomenon that horrible bitchy women use. And it's called bird hands. Have you heard of this?
No.
I hadn't either. Okay, so apparently it's a red flag for dudes in the dating world.
Oh my God.
So there's all these influencers, these girls who will make these videos where they complain about guys and dating and like how the dating pool is so terrible.
Bird
and
hands?
they do this. They'll be like, they'll accentuate whatever they're saying with these bird hands.
With these. Oh my God.
So if
really?
you're like trying to make a point and you're doing it like this, that's bird hands. And so
Interesting. Okay.
not only does she exhibit bird hands in her teaser video, but she's also just very handsy. You know what I mean? So for her to be all snarky about Blake is just, it's one more reason to find her to be such a complete bitch. Here is her teaser.
All right, you guys, today on the show, we have learned that Erica was in a building with no address on September 10th.
no.
I will say allegedly, but, you know, that's just kind of for safety. You're not going to believe this. And also, currently, Blake Neff is really trying to sell to the public that if you testified for the defense and told the truth, which Joe Kent understood could happen, you know, he publicly is saying that they didn't investigate this case right, that's an act of betrayal against Charlie. Telling the truth is now an act of betrayal against Charlie. Honestly, I hope they call me to the stand. I want to go.
Oh my God.
I want to be called to the stand. Anyway, join us using the link below.
What's
What
up
were
with
those
the,
lips?
and what's up with the Hugh Hefner smoking jacket that she's wearing? WTF?
Well, that
What was
same
that?
chick that I showed the tweet of earlier, Natalie Denise, she literally does a daily inventory of what Candace wears and how much it cost.
That was
so
like-
she finds all the outfits.
Yeah. Was that like $4,000? And she's like,
I
I
think
think
it
it
was
like
like-
you.
It was like $1,100.
Of
for
course
whatever
it
she had
was.
on
That-
yesterday.
That ugly ass shirt. She was like $1,100. It was like pajamas that she's wearing. And she's like, I'm just like you guys. I'm going broke. They're bankrupting
Right.
me.
They're
This was
bankrupting me.
$3,000. I'm bankrupt. Shut up. God.
So not last night, but the night before last night, she also, I think, accidentally let it slip that she's had conversations with Joe Kent. And so the way that she did it was interesting. But again, so this wasn't yesterday's show. It was the day before yesterday. But it just in light of all this Joe Kent talk and connection with her, I thought this was very, very interesting.
I told you the truth based off of my discussions with Charlie about where his headspace was at when it came to Israel. I didn't need Joe Kent for that. I didn't even know Joe Kent at all. Had never had a single communication with Joe Kent until after Charlie Kirk was assassinated.
Oh, really?
That is the honest to God truth. I didn't know this man at all.
Really?
And so this whole idea that everyone's colluding to tell the truth. Megyn Kelly told the truth. Tucker Carlson told the truth. And you guys hate us for that. You guys want us canceled and attacked for having the spine to do what you did not. You were going to allow a hostile takeover of his legacy, and we said hell no. So there it is.
Actually, no, you're the only one that did the hostile takeover of his legacy.
Right?
Because the legacy was going to be people going to God. People were actually going to Christ because of him. And you shut that down, Christian lady.
Well, unfortunately, I don't know that she shut it down. She shut down like the, what's the word? Like just the revival, like the spirit of revival
Right.
that we had after she definitely shut that down. However, there's been a lot of indicators that a whole bunch of people are flocking to the Catholic Church, specifically in the way that she has and the way that Carrie Prejean Bowler has and the way that the Catholics for Catholics group endorses. And so it's really, it's awful almost because on one hand, you want people to return to the church, to go to the church, to belong to the church. And then at the same time, when they're going in that direction into the candy Catholic Church, that's a bad thing now. You know
it's
what
really
I mean?
bad. It's really bad.
And that sucks that it's been so tarnished.
Mm-hmm.
It just, oh my
It's-
gosh. She's
and it's
just so
probably, and
awful.
I would venture to say, I didn't know him, but I would venture to say it's not what Charlie wanted.
No, I mean, certainly not. And any claim that he was getting into the Catholic Church outside of just appreciating the architecture, as Candace would say, is just pure nonsense.
Well,
I
he
mean,
definitely wouldn't want her selling shirts, making fun of the phrase Shabbat Shalom.
Exactly. That's so disgusting.
Yeah.
We've got more on this, but first we want to tell you about a great dude gift. I know it's still a few months away, but like Father's Day is going to sneak up on you, you guys.
Yeah, it will.
And if you need a unique gift, think about a Ridge wallet. Look at this. Look how thin it is.
Yeah, it's not fat. You know your wallet is obese, dudes. We're looking at them. We're looking at them. Like those big old brick wallets that's in your back pocket. It's so out of control. You can barely sit down. We know who you are. And this one is sleek and it's modern. It can hold up to 12 cards plus cash. 12. It's made with premium materials like aluminum, titanium, carbon fiber. They're strong. They're lightweight. They will last forever. There's over 50 colors and styles. They last, like I said, they last forever and they look good. And she's showing one. I don't even, is that it's like a silver one? It's like a gunmetal.
This is like a charcoal. Yeah, I forget the exact color that we got, but like it's a charcoal something or other.
And they're backed by a lifetime warranty. It's like the last wallet you're ever going to have ever. And they have built-in RFID blocking technology. So you can protect yourself against digital pickpockets. And also, if you lose your wallet, it has a tracker card. So you always will know where it is, which is kind of nice. I'm the kind of person I lose my keys like every single day. So if I had one of these, I would know where my wallet is. I know you could totally vouch for that. They also, Ridge isn't just about wallets. They have power banks, key cases, suitcases, rings, all of them gorgeous. So
and a really cool little pocket knife thing too.
They do. And they have free shipping, 99-day risk-free trial, lifetime warranties on all their stuff. So they're having their once-a-year anniversary sale right now. You can head to ridge.com/chicks, get up to 40% off. That's 40%, you guys. And after you check out, tell them that you heard about them from us. Ridge.com/chicks. Do it.
Do it. So you know how Candace, a lot of her conspiracies around Charlie's murder have to do with, Erica clearly wanted to take over TPUSA and, maybe she wanted life insurance money. I know that was one of her theories.
Which
at some
is
point.
so stupid.
So stupid. But a lot of her theories have this angle about who would stand to benefit from Charlie's death. And it's most interesting when you think about it, according to Dan Fremont, judging by who benefited from the murder, if you were conspiratorial, you would have to assume that it's the psycho right, Candace, Tucker, Meghan, and their state-sponsored CCP Iranian Russian backers who are behind it.
Yeah.
Because who's benefiting the most from his death? Yeah,
because I read yesterday that she's got like $60 million. Somebody estimated that she's made like $60 million in 6 months off of her podcast. So, I mean, maybe somebody should look into her. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that she's involved, but I'm not saying it. I mean, listen, this is the thing. She's pointed fingers at everybody and she has benefited. So it is kind of interesting how that works. And listen, if anybody, she is such a projector when it comes to Erica, because she talks about how she's some sort of money grubbing, you know what? Well, I mean, you married a gay baron. And it was obviously it was an arranged type. I mean, you got married in 2 weeks. Who does that?
So, I was corrected by a couple of our listeners that I've been pronouncing Steve Deace's name wrong. I always say Steve Deace because that's what his name looks like to me, but that apparently it is pronounced Deace. Sorry to Steve for mispronouncing your name. But he tweeted, "It's just pure wickedness by Kent and his fellow demoniacs. I am completely out of patience with this nihilistic darkness, and I don't care where it is found, what relationships or anything else it costs me. I am not aligned with this darkness. I will not work with it or for it, and I never will be. Here to that." And then also, Matt Walsh wanted to remind everybody that there's like tons and tons of evidence about Tyler Robinson. He said, "I continue to believe there should be more investigation into the leftist militant groups in Utah, especially any of the people who posted about Charlie's murder before it happened. I also have a very hard time believing that his tranny boyfriend had no foreknowledge of the attack at all, but Tyler Robinson's own guilt is beyond doubt.
Right.
All of the evidence, literally all of it, points to him. And that's to say nothing of the fact that the guy confessed multiple times to multiple people and was turned in by his parents, who you'll notice have not made any attempt to publicly or privately deny their son's guilt. That's because he's guilty as sin. And if he somehow gets let off the hook by a deluded and confused jury, it'll be one of the worst miscarriages of justice in the history of our country.
And why are they confused, Matt? Why would they be confused?
Spell it out.
Yeah, say it. Say it.
I mean, he has twice now, but both times where it's like he was under duress. You know what I mean? To actually name the cause.
And you know what else he probably shouldn't have done is done the whole Catholics for Catholics thing.
I mean, he didn't go, at least.
He did a video.
But it was only like 2 minutes, if that.
Doesn't matter. He probably should have said, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't align with them and align with real Catholics. Just saying. Because if he is a real Catholic, he should align with real Catholics and not that Candace Catholic crap.
Yeah. God, she's awful.
Right.
Awful. There's also, we're not going to show, it's like a 13 long tweet thread that Kash Patel's girlfriend put out on Twitter last night, saying that there's like this big collusion taking place between Candace, Mike Flynn, there's all kinds of like bots that are trying to shape narratives. And she laid out a whole bunch of evidence for that. And it was a really, really interesting thread. Highly recommend that you go look at it. It caught Candace's eye, obviously, because she was named in it. And so she responded to it. Whoops, I don't know how that rewound. But anyway, it's Alexis Wilkins. So if you want to look this up, you should. And in the thread, she lays out like all this research that she's done over the past several months. And then she leaves you to state your own conclusions. So Candace responded saying, this is one of those random breaks in politics that we all just need to stop and appreciate, something objectively hilarious. You talked about Candace being a projector. There is no better evidence than this tweet.
Right.
She says, I therefore implore you to read this thread. The background is that Alexis Wilkins, Kash's girlfriend, does not understand why some people think she's a Mossad honeypot. So she has spent months piecing together a theory that Vladimir Putin's philosopher, Alexander Dugin, is running an operation to bring down Trump through General Michael Flynn, Joe Kent, and the Catholic Church, never mind the schism, further aided by people who are asking questions about Charlie Kirk's assassination, because none of that could be authentic. Vladimir Putin sits at the top. Separately, this is more evidence we just need to shutter the FBI. This is just too completely unserious and embarrassing on the world stage. Leave it to Candace to mock someone conspiracy theorizing.
Right.
Like, what?
For somebody saying that something is unserious and embarrassing on the world stage. Brigitte Macron has a dick.
Israel murdered Charlie.
Right.
France is trying to kill me. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, but this is ridiculous.
Right. It's ridiculous. Why isn't Trump doing something about it? I know. It just defies logic. Okay.
And then she even responded to another one of Alexis's tweets, because Alexis again said, I'm not saying anything. I ran data. I'm asking you to draw your own conclusions. Right. And Candace said, my conclusion is that you're a clinical retard if you spent this much of your personal time to produce something that is this completely and utterly false. I would say stick to country music, but you kind of suck at that too. Can you believe the projection? I mean, it's unreal. The lack of self-awareness. Truly unreal.
Classic narcissism. Classic.
You can't make it up, you guys.
You can't. I don't. How does she have a husband? How does this guy live with her?
I don't
Honestly.
know. I do not get it.
Good Lord Almighty.
He probably has a lot of guys in the wings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That are taking care of his needs.
Totally.
By the way, if one of your needs to take care of is dry skin, have you thought about cow guys? Because this balm is so good. It cured. So good. Look, you can't see the eczema, big rash that I have here.
Eczema.
You can't see it anymore.
Right. It helps with eczema, which is fantastic because it has, you guys, it's all about the kidney fat. I'm just putting it out there. It's the most nutrient.
I don't want to know that.
Part. I'm telling you, because it's the most nutrient dense part of the animal. It's rich in vitamins A, D, E, and K. And Talibom is what we used before Big Pharma stepped in and said, no, you don't need natural stuff. You need all these chemicals. No, we don't need chemicals, you guys. And that's why I'm obsessed with this particular Talibom. The Cow Guys is the best. We have it right next to our kitchen sink because I wash my hands like 50 times a day since we're constantly with animals and I'm, into all their stuff and we get disgusting things on our hands. I'm just telling you. And my skin gets very dry and I love the way this stuff feels and it smells and I love that it's all natural.
So yummy smelling.
It is fantastic. Plus it's American made, rancher owned in Texas, which we love. And they're conservative and they believe all the things that we believe. And you can use it everywhere. Hands, arms, legs, face, even lips. And it's amazing for things like eczema and psoriasis and dry skin and just everyday moisture. So head to cowguys.com, get your jar.
No, cowguys.shop
sorry.
Chicks.
Cowguys.shop/chicks. God, I got that wrong. I'm sorry. And you can get a travel size mini balm too for free. So you don't need a special code or anything. That's like 3 to 4 months of moisturizer for $34, which is really great. So cowguys.shop/chicks. Do it. Sorry.
Do it.
I suck at the call outs.
All right. Moving on to other things. I know that was a lot, but considering the fact that this entire Tyler Robinson case could be blown up, I thought it was worth covering.
I think he's going to walk because of this.
I cannot even fathom that being a possibility. Let's get to some good news. And the good news is that yesterday, Markwayne Mullin was sworn in as Secretary of Homeland Security. And there is a still shot of Pam Bondi doing the honors. Trump also introduced him and was unaware that Markwayne Mullin has some Native American in him. Here's what he said about it.
But as the only Native American, I didn't know that, huh? Let me look at you. Well, I think that's all right. He's got great quality, I can tell you. It's the only Native American in the Senate. How many have been there before you? Do you know? Native American? I think 3. 3. Well, you're a fantastic representative. Markwayne has also been a fantastic advocate for our cherished tribal communities. He's now the first member of the Cherokee Nation ever to serve as a member of the cabinet. I didn't know all these things. I would have picked him faster if I had known. I would have.
I just love that. I saw a meme yesterday where it was like Kristi Noem saying, if you guys leave, you'll get $2,600 and we'll happily send you on your way. Maybe you'll get back in the country. And then there's him going, get the F on the plane. Because listen,
they do have a different style.
Totally different style. And be careful what you wish for, Dems. They wanted a regime change here. Well, you're going to get it. I feel like you're going to get. Let's see how this works out for them.
He was so cute too. All of his kids were there and he was so adorably nervous when he was accepting the position. And so he made some remarks and here he is just talking about his nerves and how hard he's going to work. And I think he's going to be great.
Thank you. I think that was the most nervous I've ever been. It just seems surreal being in the Oval Office and having the President of the United States speak so highly of me and then recognize my family and know my family by name. It's humbling and I never take it for granted, but I've made this very clear that I don't care what color your state is. I don't care if you're red or you're blue. At the end of the day, my job is to be Secretary of Homeland and to protect everybody the same. And we will do that. I'll fight every single day. Today, I got the privilege of meeting so many of the employees at DHS. These employees have been there for 30 days without pay. And if you need anything to know their dedication to show up and still protect the homeland that you and I enjoy and the freedoms that we're experiencing, they're working with for free because of political politics. That's all I need to know. I told them, as you're fighting 365 days, understand I'll be fighting 365 days beside you. No one's going to outwork me, and I'm not going to let any of them outwork me. The president has entrusted me with this, and failure is not an option. And so thank you so much, Mr. President, for this opportunity. I won't let you down.
Thank you very much.
I love that.
I do too. I really love it. And listen, we must restore our sovereignty. We've got to get our crap together. And their number one job is to protect us. And I think he doesn't want to fail.
No, he definitely does not. The way that he's I'm going to outwork everybody. And
yeah,
he's I just think he's going to be,
And
I think he's the right fit.
Yeah. And he's not going to be worried about his extensions and his mail.
Right. He will not be like getting taxpayer money to fund a horse to ride on in a long drawn out advertisement.
Right.
So,
I think he's going to do okay, I think, in this.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah.
At that swearing in ceremony, obviously press was there and they had lots and lots of questions, and the Iran strikes came up, especially all this negotiation that's apparently happening between Trump and Iran. So they asked him about that and they said, what's, why the change of heart? You were so gung-ho about like bombing our little hearts out. So what's going on with the potential ceasefire? Here's what Trump said.
Turning point to make you want to pursue a ceasefire. A few days ago, you said you wanted to continue bombing Iran. Now you want to pursue peace talks. Was there something that happened?
The fact that they're talking to us and they're talking sense. And remember, it all starts with they cannot have a nuclear weapon. Just, I said yesterday, they said, what are the top 10? I said, well, number 1, 2, and 3 is they can't have a nuclear weapon. And they're not going to have a nuclear weapon. And we're talking about that. And I don't want to say in advance, but they've agreed they will never have a nuclear weapon. They've agreed to that.
He also said something about like a gift that they had given him that had to do with oil and gas, but that he wasn't going to say anything more about it, which was kind of interesting. So anyway, the negotiations, at least according to Trump, continue to happen. According to some in Iran, they are not happening. So the stories continue to be sort of all over the place. But there is some improvement in the way of NATO partners helping out more because, they were pretty resistant at first. And now there is news from the Times reporting that the Royal Navy will take the lead in a Hormuz coalition to reopen the Strait, with Britain deploying mine clearing units, which is exactly what Trump had wanted and asked for. And this would be alongside us and France. So that's something positive, I think.
Yep.
Then at the same time, Saudi Arabia is like Lindsey Gramming this war so hard. Thought this was real interesting. Whoops, where did it go? Lindsey
Gramming this war so hard.
I mean, that's what it feels like they're doing because Saudi Arabia's Prince bin Salman has been pushing Trump to continue the war. And he's saying that the U.S.-Israel military campaign presents a, quote, historic opportunity to remake the Middle East, which it does. I'm not denying that. He also says that Iran poses a long-term threat to the Gulf that can only be eliminated by getting rid of the government. I don't disagree. He also says the U.S. should consider putting troops in Iran to seize energy infrastructure and force the government out of power. What are you doing, Saudi Arabia?
Well, this is the thing. It's nice that he's pushing us to do it, but I feel like this happens all the time. They always push us to do it, us to spend our money, us to use our resources. It's like, what are you doing? What have you done for me lately? Right?
I mean, it's your freaking region. How about you guys have some skin in the game? How about you send your troops to take out the leadership? That just didn't like it. I
don't like that either. I don't like it at all either. You need to have some skin in the game.
That's right. Also, there are, I don't know the veracity of these, but I saw that there was this list of Iran's demands. They have 4 demands during these negotiations. Reuters reported that they want guarantees against future military action, compensation for their wartime losses, control of the Strait, and no restrictions on their ballistic missile program.
They can F off.
I feel like these are non-starters.
Yeah, I feel like you get, that Trump is just like,
right?
I mean, no. The answer is no.
Just don't think that's going to work for him.
Not at all.
But for the people that are critical of our involvement to begin with, of the strikes as a whole, Kevin O'Leary had a message for everyone, and that is to just freaking let the guy cook already.
Right.
View, and the long view here could be just 60 days. Remember, to affect the U.S. economy, you need oil. I'm talking about recession talk or hurting the economy or damaging small business. You need oil at above $93 for 3 months. We're only 1/3 into it. So everybody chillax and let this thing play out. There's a really big opportunity here, a huge one. And everybody gets the upside, including all our trading partners. We work this out. We're selling stuff to Saudi Arabia. We're selling it to the UAE. We're selling it to Asia. We're selling it to Japan. This is a huge opportunity. I just see it for what it is. It's history being made.
Let
He's
the guy
right.
cook.
Let him cook. Yeah.
And then meantime, because the left hates Trump and by extension, they actually hate the United States, that horrible Simone Sanders had John Brennan on her show, and they basically admit out loud that they don't know if they can trust Trump more than they trust Iran.
Oh my God.
You can't even make this stuff up, but this is what they said.
I can't.
Iran, like, they are an authoritarian regime who's known to lie, but like, I'm confused. What is going on? Help me. Calm me down.
Well, I tend to believe Iran more than I do Donald Trump,
crazy.
because he could not
What a
acknowledge the
dick.
truth, even when it is, he's slapped in the face with it repeatedly.
Cannot.
Again,
Dude.
with all the projecting.
They killed like 30,000 of their own citizens. This guy gets on television and says that. These people are, oh my, they don't even deserve to live here, you know?
I know.
That guy is just insufferable. How can you say that on national television?
Need for him to be in jail. I know that there's an investigation into him, blah, blah, blah. There's always investigations. Just do it already. My God, he's so awful. So awful. It was several weeks now that we had Josh Hammer on our show. And he's obviously one of the people that was on that group text that is now infamous, that included Charlie Kirk and Andrew Colvett and others. And Josh Hammer was on our friend Aaron Mullin's show. And he said something about Tulsi that took me really by surprise. And I don't believe it. I don't want to believe it, and I don't believe it. And I'm starting to wonder, I like Josh, but it's starting to feel like he may be one of those people who is like a hammer that's always looking for a nail when it comes to anti-Semitism. And this is what he said on her show. Anyway, just listen.
Multiple people around the same time, last fall, I don't remember the exact date, that Tulsi Gabbard, who is the director of national intelligence, and she was Joe Kent's boss as the director of the National Counterterrorism Center, he worked under Tulsi Gabbard. I was told by numerous people who are very much part of the conservative ecosystem in D.C., these are well-sourced people, strong connections to the White House, they told me to be strongly on the lookout for Tulsi Gabbard and her office. They basically said that Tulsi Gabbard is running something of a shadow operation from her office, that she is personally, I was told this, I've met Tulsi, I don't know her well. I was told she's personally actually very anti-Semitic, and that she is heavily involved in a lot of the anti-Semitic influencer operations, and that she is potentially involved when it comes to trying to feed some of these narratives there.
Just don't see that.
I don't either. And I don't think, maybe just don't stir that pot if it doesn't need to be stirred.
Yeah. Like, I just don't know. I don't know where that's coming from. I don't like it. I don't like it. And then her deputy chief of staff, I think is her official title, just went after Josh. Alexa Henning said, "This is disgustingly false, Josh Hammer, and we'll wait for your apology." Again, someone who knows literally nothing about Tulsi Gabbard is presenting lies as facts. And so I don't know if he's going to retract that, but I just found it very, very odd.
It's just not cool.
Said that.
It's not cool.
Yeah. Not everything and not everyone is anti-Semitic.
Right.
I wonder if it's like now he's just seeing it everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even when it's not there.
Like, try to just have an objective viewpoint wherever you go and do the best you can with that.
Yeah. And let's keep our eye on the ball here.
Right.
The real threat that we all need to remember is Islam. You know what I mean?
I know exactly. Yeah, I know what you mean. I live in Texas.
They're not hiding it, you guys. And I know we've shown plenty of examples of them saying exactly what their intentions are, but you can't actually play too many because it's so important to remember.
We don't say that Islam is here to live, to coexist with lots of different religions and all of us can just hold hands and be friends. This religion has been sent to dominate, to wipe out, to take out every other religion, to have the people leave every religion and to accept Islam. And if that requires fighting to achieve it, then it requires fighting to achieve it.
Lock and load.
God, I hate these people.
I don't either. I know. This is the thing. And the Carrie Prajans and all wearing the Palestine pins and they all let's lock arms together. We're all buds. They're not your buds.
No. And they're such idiots. All these people that align with them.
Useful idiots.
Yeah, completely. And here's another example. This was Mike, is it Cheryl or Cheryl, the New Jersey governor, Mikey? This was a photo of her. You're going to have to help me understand this. But anyway, she ran as a moderate. She just visited a local mosque this past Friday. And the co-founder of it is convicted of having ties to Hamas. And explain to me what is the point of the hair not quite covering? Like, if you're going to cover your hair out of some show of deference to this sick religion, then shouldn't you cover it? You know what I mean?
Like, it's kind of like these college girls that wear the black and white scarf when they're like Queers for Palestine and they have and they're like, it's decoration.
This is so,
because that's what it is. To them, it's decoration.
Pandering.
And that guy sitting there with her knows that she's a useful idiot.
Completely.
Just like Carrie Prejean is a useful idiot. Just like all these broads are useful idiots. And they'll be the first ones killed when they take over.
Yep.
I mean,
100%.
Morons, all of them. It's the same people who are like, oh my God, Queers for Palestine. Do you know what they do to queers?
I know.
Do you know? Who's going to tell them? Unbelievable.
So Ted Cruz was on Trigonometry, I guess within the last week or so, talking about Tucker, talking about all of this whole woke right phenomenon and how dangerous Tucker specifically is and how really he hates Trump and is just afraid to admit it out loud. So that's why he continues to have all these guests that will say the things that Tucker believes so that Tucker doesn't have to say them himself. That's at least Ted Cruz's theory. Here he is to explain.
In the last 18 months, I've seen more anti-Semitism on the right than I have at any point in my life. And I think it is growing. You mentioned Tucker Carlson. I believe Tucker's the most dangerous demagogue in America. And he is obsessed. He hates Israel. He is attacking Israel on a daily basis. He's attacking Jews on a daily basis. Anti-Semitism is a gateway to anti-capitalism and anti-Americanism. He's also said there's no one on planet Earth he hates more than Christian Zionists, and he's identified by name, me and Mike Huckabee, as the two people he hates the most. He had Nick Fuentes, who is a open Nazi. And by the way, I don't use the term Nazi lightly. But Tucker has also defended Mondami and defended Maduro. Tucker hates President Trump. He opposes everything about his foreign policy, and he's attacking President Trump on a daily basis. Now, he's too chicken to actually say that. Right. So instead of saying that he's attacking Trump, he just has every clown who hates Trump on his show to attack his policies, but he won't actually say the name. Look, I've resolved I'm not going to sit quietly and watch my party destroyed by the same forces that have destroyed the Democrat Party, because I don't want to wake up in 5 years and find both national parties in the United States unequivocally anti-Israel and viciously anti-Semitic. And I think that is a possibility. And I'm going to do everything humanly possible to stop that from happening. Tucker's views are still fringe, but they're being heard by young people. And if young people don't hear a response to it, that's how both parties are lost to this poison.
Exactly.
And they're connecting the woke right, the woke right, I guess is what, in the Reich, whatever you want to call it, and Islamo-communism are meeting.
Mm-hmm. It's
they're
the horseshoe.
Meeting. It's the horseshoe. They're meeting at the top. They don't think they are. They think they're different. They're not different. It's the same thing. They hate the same people. They hate the same things. And they're the same.
And again, it's all about counter messaging. Mm-hmm. So he said it very well. You have to have something else for young people to hear. And if everybody is just like, well, I don't want to talk about those people. I don't want to give them oxygen. Okay, well then that's all that young people are going to hear.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which is why we continue to talk about it.
Absolutely. And why you need to continue to talk to your kids and your grandkids. All the time. You need to bring this stuff up and you need to tell them this is bad. And let me tell you why. And this is the alternative. This is what conservatism actually is. And it's not Islamo-communism, and it's not this bullshit woke right crap. It's not. Let me tell you what it is. And you need to educate them. I mean, reject it, y'all. Reject it.
Meanwhile, in Minnesota, I would like to introduce you to someone who is running for governor there.
Oh my God.
Hello, Minnesota. My name is Abdirazak Ali. Abdirazak Ali.
What?
And today I am officially announcing my candidacy for governor of Minnesota.
Of course you are.
waxaan u taaganahay musharax gudoomiyaha gobolka Minnesota.
God bless you.
Sorry, what?
Gesundheit. I have no idea what he just said. And the thing is, like, oh my God, this is happening. And you know what? He'll probably get elected.
He probably will. He probably will.
I
mean, unfortunately, as much as we love Mike Lindell, I don't think that is a viable Republican governor candidate. I just don't.
This is the thing, you guys. This is, and people be like, oh no, it can't happen. Yeah, it can happen. Look at New York City. This is what they want. This is how they're doing it. It's an invasion. That's what it is. People are like, oh, you can't say anything about that, Daisy. It's mean. You're an Islamophobe. Okay, whatever. I don't know what you call me. It's an invasion. And this is on purpose with purpose.
Yep.
This is what they plan to do. They want to get into our politics, and then they're going to instill Sharia law. And all these like feminists are going to be like, wait, what?
What? Yeah, especially now that Tucker is like, Sharia law, what? I mean, it's fine. It's
fine. He's got 3 daughters, and he thinks that this is okay. What do his daughters think? I'd love to know.
I don't know what made me think of it, but I was curious to know what has become of Jamal Bowman. Remember him? Like big dude. It's like AOC's
Jamal
BFF.
Bowman, yeah.
Yeah, I wondered what became of him. And now I found out that he, once he lost his bid for re-election, he now appears to be working for a PAC linked to a radical anti-APAC social media account, which was funded in part by Don Henley.
Oh my God.
It was like the weirdest connection I have ever seen, but that is
Don
that
Henley.
connection.
His dirty laundry. There it is, right there.
And then in just the most truly astonishing display of projection and inversion of reality, there was a pair of tweets from Glenn Greenwald and Candace Owens that I literally could not believe. You have to see it to believe it. But here, Glenn Greenwald said, in response to Candace, I'll read Candace first. Candace said, I keep telling people that if Israel laid down its arms, there would be peace tomorrow.
Can you even?
If Iran laid down their arms, they would be wiped from the face of the planet.
Right.
Or something, which is a complete inversion of Golda Meir's original quote about Israel, who only wants peace. And then Glenn piped in, I just cannot believe this is how they think. But he said, we've seen that over the last 2 years, Israel constantly starts wars and prosecutes them in the most maniacal, criminal, and sociopathic way possible, while Iran only uses military force when they're attacked, and even then uses constraint to prevent unwarranted escalation.
Right. This is the Iran. This is the Iran that killed 30,000 plus of its own people. That Iran. That Iran. And then also they've got Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis. They've got proxies that are constantly attacking our interests, the West's interests. Does Israel have that? It is extreme gaslighting. It is upside down world, Tiffany. It is. It's insane. Yes. It's like it's brainwashing to the nth degree. I just, okay, Glenn. And that is anti-Semitism. Like it's such a brain rot. They cannot see the forest through the trees. It's crazy.
I genuinely was like, okay, they're like messing with us. No, you know what I mean? Like they cannot be serious when they say that. And yet
who has committed the terror attacks over the past 20 years? Tell me who's done them. It's not Israel.
Oh my God. The inversion of reality
Right?
is just, it's something to behold. And so too is Mika's face. The reason for my name today, Mika Brzezinski on the Morning Joe. They were talking about the SAVE Act. They were talking about the airports. They were talking about all the things. And because Joe clearly doesn't love her, he basically humiliated her on air and made it sound as though she's utterly incapable of finding her own birth certificate, and that she would be kicked off voter registration rolls if she didn't acquire it. They're lying completely, but you have to see her ridiculous face in this. She just plays right into it, you guys.
Does Mika not know where her original birth certificate is, which under the SAVE Act would get her kicked off the voters' rolls, and then she'd have to come back and re-register, and she would find out on election day that she could not vote.
Oh my God. I just,
what is wrong with these idiots? I cannot.
Such a moron. Okay, so I'd be okay with Mika not being able to vote. Listen, if you don't know how to if you don't know how to get ID, if you're that dumb and you really don't know how to get ID, or you're an illegal, one of the two, I'm okay with you not voting. In fact, I feel like our founders would be okay with that. They'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
You're retarded, like stupid to the point where you don't know how to get ID. Like you're a stupid married woman that does to Joe because you were dumb enough to marry that loser and you don't know how to get an ID. I mean,
why do the Democrats constantly want to make women sound so dumb?
Yeah,
that's what's incredible.
Women. Especially like you get married and you automatically become lobotomized. What is that? Is it only Democrats? Because
it's an endless talking point, and here is Cory Booker to say the exact same nonsense.
Trump's usual bluster. He has again made this grand statement: "I'm not going to sign any bill that comes to me unless the SAVE Act comes to me first." The SAVE Act is a massive voter suppression bill that would make it very difficult for millions of Americans, especially women who have changed their name on their birth certificate no longer matches the name on their real ID or driver's license. It would cause chaos to voting and really shrink the voting rolls 5 or 10%, given the effect it would have. I was talking to a retired, very moderate senator yesterday. We were both laughing. Democrats should just be quiet and let somebody like Lisa Murkowski, who did a big chart, big state of Alaska she put up in her speech and just showed what the SAVE Act would do to voters, making them have to hop on planes, fly across her state, which is pretty vast, just to be able to present identification at the right place. We do not need voter suppression in the United States of America, and we do not need another scheme from Donald Trump, who's still litigating his 2020 loss, another scheme by him that would make it more difficult for American citizens to vote at the polls.
God, I mean, I know. We become completely stupid when we get married. Imagine what happens when we get knocked up. What do we do with our hands?
It's so interesting too that he brought up that Trump is like still obsessing about 2020 because there was some interesting information that came from Data Republican that showed the 23 million Democrat mail-in voters from 2020. Poof.
They're gone.
They're gone.
It's so weird.
It's so weird. That's why anybody who actually bought that Joe Biden got 81 million votes is a legit retard.
Yeah, we have tidal wave insurance to sell you in Indiana.
Exactly. I mean, this was just the biggest scam ever.
Idiocracy.
But with the SAVE Act, it's at an utter and complete standstill. And now they're talking about using reconciliation to get some form of it through, or at least to get some of the government refunded. I don't, at this point, there's no hope, I don't think, of getting the SAVE Act passed. And I don't even see hope at this point of getting the government refunded or funding for TSA and Coast Guard, et cetera. And so Senator Kennedy was talking about this on a news show, just like what they're trying to work through. Here's a little bit of what he said.
I think we can clearly do it for ICE. Doing it for the SAVE Act is a closer question. And look, the Senate has a lot of lawyers, Bill, and on both sides, and they're all good lawyers. I mean, they're all astonishingly self-assured. All of us think that we're Oliver Wendell Scalia. But what I would do is enlist some outside help that has a lot of experience. with the Budget Control Act. I've seen things pass muster under the Budget Control Act that I didn't think had a hope in hell. And I've seen some that couldn't pass muster that I thought were slam dunks. But it's our only shot. I mean, it's our only shot, and I think it's worth taking it.
I just cannot get over the ineptness of these people.
My God, it is
like
infuriating,
right?
And Mike Lee says that it's like he's been saying a lot. This is just one of many tweets that he's put out about this, saying it's hard to imagine how the Save America Act could be passed through reconciliation. And by hard, I mean essentially impossible. And I feel like this is all sort of a diversion. Like it's a way of saying, don't pay attention to how absolutely effed up we are in Congress. Look at us trying to be busy and figure out a way to get this through. Even John Thune yesterday was saying, oh yeah, this is like totally on the table, you guys. This week.
Good afternoon, thank you. Don't you risk some of your base if you're unable to pass the Save America Act and the idea that this could go into budget reconciliation, that everybody around here, including you, has indicated that that's very hard to do. Isn't that just kind of a wing and a prayer?
I think that budget reconciliation, as I've said before, you have to have a reason to do it. And if we have reasons to do it, and we may, very well may. And I think there are a number of our colleagues in the Senate. We just came out of a luncheon where this was discussed, and I think there's a lot of support for a budget reconciliation bill. We have 2 legislative vehicles, as you know, available to us, so we could tee one of those up, and that's an option. And we'll see if that's what it takes to get some of these things across the finish line, and we can do it with simple majorities. We'll take a hard look at that.
Did you overpromise your base, though?
God, he's an incompetent ass. I mean, they're just such disappointments. I wish we could stop paying all of them.
Yeah.
I hate these people.
I know.
I'm serious. Like, I'm really serious. The ones on our side, I'm not giving them a pass.
No.
They're all inept. They cannot do their jobs. If this was the private sector, they'd all be fired. All of them.
Yep. Absolutely. Also, this was just, I just threw this in here because I could not believe it. But Pramila Jayapal saying, immigrants didn't raise your rent.
Oh my
they
God.
most certainly did. They made housing more expensive for literally everybody.
Absolutely.
Immigrants didn't spike your premiums.
Yeah, they did.
Oh my God.
They did.
They get free health care.
Right.
Immigrants didn't rig the economy. Billionaires did. It's time to tax the rich.
Sorry, you don't understand the economy, Pramila.
Oh my God.
She doesn't understand how it works. Again,
It's
another
infuriating.
inept one. You don't
Yeah.
understand how things work. You shouldn't have this job. Why? How? How do these people, how? They're not grown-ups. These are not real people.
And they're protecting, again, illegals, criminals.
Right.
Look, there was new news about Sheridan Gorman, about this absolute psychopath that murdered her, that he was apparently hiding in the park and he shot her in the back of the neck while she was running away. And the only reason that they were able to identify him is using facial recognition software, which is technology that the Democrat Illinois State Rep Kelly Cassidy wants to ban. So Democrats constantly are doing the absolute wrong things to keep us safe. The wrong things altogether.
Yeah, Kelly can suck it. Kelly can she can suck it.
Oh my God. And then I could not believe this too, that, you know, they're very quick to like get their pearls clutched and to like cry their crocodile tears about freaking Kilmar Abrego Garcia or whoever. But then this young girl, this college student, this innocent college student who gets slaughtered by a tuberculosis infested jackhole illegal from Venezuela. You ask Hakeem Jeffries if that guy should be deported, and it's not even an automatic yes.
An illegal immigrant has been charged with murdering a college student in Chicago last week. Do House Democrats believe if he's convicted, he's someone who should be deported?
I'll look into the case.
Do you
Oh my God. That should be an easy, that should be a hell yes.
I'll look into the case.
Really?
What is there to look into?
I swear to God. How is anybody Democrat right now? Listen,
don't
our
get it.
side is not doing so hot, but their side, they love criminals, illegals, same thing. They love criminals. They love the worst of the worst. They love people who mutilate kids.
Mm-hmm.
How are you Democrat? I want a divorce.
And then to make it even worse, I mean, Hakeem having to look into the case is bad enough. But then you've got assholes like J.B. Pritzker actually trying to blame this on Trump.
Oh my God.
I agree. There have been real failures. Those failures, of course, extend beyond the borders of Illinois. They're national failures, a failure to have comprehensive immigration reform, a failure of the president to follow his own edict to go after the worst of the worst.
Unbelievable.
Oh my God. They've gotten in the way of President Trump trying to get rid of these people at every turn.
Right.
And now he's like, he hasn't fulfilled his promise to get rid of them.
No one's buying what he's selling. I mean, listen, I'm just going to go. I'm going to go there. That guy is a billionaire and he can't even get on Ozempic to lose that weight.
I think he has. Like, I think he's on it.
Are you serious?
He's lost some of it.
Okay. Just saying.
I mean, there's a lot to lose.
There's a lot to lose.
He's easy to see.
The way that you just said that. There's a lot to, I mean, I'm just saying he needs to handle that. If he's Mr. like point my fingers at everybody else's pants, you know?
All right, we need to move on to what's happening at airports. Once again, CNN on the ground at Hartsfield, checking out how it's working with ICE agents helping out TSA. Here is yesterday's report.
Maybe a celebration here at the airport before it's all said and done, especially for the folks who've been working nonstop, extra shifts. If you look right here, you can see this is the main checkpoint. Almost no lines, no waiting, Sarah. And it's unbelievable at this point. This morning started briskly with a lot of people showing up here at the airport. Lines were long. People were waiting about an hour. But when that rush hour went away pretty quickly this morning, we ended up with this. And there seems to be more lines open than normal right now with the TSA workers here breezing people through. In fact, a lot of folks have been showing up shocked at how short the lines are. Take a listen to some of the folks we talked to this morning.
I don't see how extra security could be bad, you know. I mean, they're going to help out and, you know, make things move a little faster. But whether they're doing that or not, we don't know. But extra security is always good to me.
We've also seen those ICE agents moving through today. A lot of folks are saying they're very pleasant. Look, they're not wearing masks. In fact, on this line right here, you can see two of them standing behind the TSA agents. I'm not sure we can get complete focus on that, but just wanted to show you that they've been walking around the perimeter. Atlanta police have also been added to this equation in terms of showing up extra patrols. But the story right now, Sarah, quite honestly, is the fact that the lines have disappeared. We haven't seen this like in a week.
This was a genius PR move by Trump.
So
it
good.
was just brilliant. And like Trump knows how to do this. It's like, oh, everybody, you know, in the mainstream media has been saying how ICE is just terrible. They're killing people. These guys are demons. They're awful. Trump's like, really? Okay, let's actually show people reality. He puts them in their faces in airports, like so people can reach out and touch them and see them, and they have interactions, like personal interactions, and people are seeing firsthand that they're real people and they're nice and they're there to help them. I mean,
it's not stopping Democrats from basically saying they're going to kill everybody.
No, it's not. But it makes them look ridiculous.
It does.
Because they're saying that. And so he knows how to offensively do this. We've been saying this for years. Like Republicans suck at messaging. This is Trump doing what he does best.
Yes.
He knows. He's like, oh, really? Okay. Well, I know how
bird hands.
Oh my God, was I doing bird hands? Okay.
Now it's like I notice it.
Oh my
and
God.
I'm like, I don't want to send any bad signals.
But this is how he knows how to do it. He knows how to do messaging, which we've always sucked at.
I know. It was absolutely brilliant. And the response has been overwhelmingly positive. We've got a few examples. Here's like a precious old couple saying how
when you see ICE agents, you know, being deployed, what goes through your mind?
I like it. I mean, I think Trump's doing a hell of a job. I like it.
Most of the travelers we spoke with say while it's disappointing the current shutdown is having a negative impact on TSA staff, they're pleased to see ICE agents stepping in.
I love it.
They're pleased.
I know. I love it.
I
love. And listen, Democrats love being told like what to do, what to think, and then when they're faced with reality, they're like, "Wait, how am I supposed to react to that? What am I supposed to do?" And so this was reality. It's like they're actual real people, and they're nice.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with that?
Here's another example.
they're here doing a job just like TSA is. And bless their hearts, they're out here working without a paycheck, trying to help people. And they've got a job to do just like everybody else.
Right.
And thank goodness for them.
I mean, I love that they're talking to everybody. I love that they're interviewing people. And then, of course, it made it even better when ICE was handing out ice water. And so there was a lot of videos going around of this, too.
Cold water? These ones are cold on this side. Very good, boy. Water?
How about you, Emma? God bless them.
Yep, no problem.
That's so sweet.
Thank you.
They're
I love
so
it.
violent. They're going to kill everybody.
Right.
I love this video too of an immigrant or like at least somebody who has an accent. I don't know like what their citizenship status is. I don't know even know if they're from America. I have no idea. But I loved the optics, especially of this moment, because you know that's who's supposed to be the most terrified of ICE, and yet look.
Very nice.
You got vodka in there?
I wish.
I wish.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. Thank you for the service.
You're happy with ICE?
Yes.
Okay.
I like that. I'm happy for the ice. Thank you for the service.
Oh my God, that is darling.
Isn't it the cutest
really
thing
is.
ever?
Very sweet. So
oh my
sweet.
gosh. Love that. And then our favorite is so very Brooklyn, you guys.
Oh my
So
God.
Oh, they're right
Brooklyn.
there. All right, they're good to here to help. They're not bothering nobody. As long as they can check my bags and get me on my flight, I'm good to go. Right? I want to get to the Bahamas. I want out of here.
I freaking love this guy. He's an endangered species, you guys. He's like, forget about it. Bahamas. It's 2 syllables. Bahamas. I gotta go to. It's Tony Soprano reincarnated. I love
Oh, that was so great.
it. And I have actually read when I saw that guy this morning. I read that people don't talk like that in New York anymore. Like that really is an endangered species. Yes, because everybody's named. Yeah, everybody's named Muhammad now. So like it's true. Like everybody is either named Muhammad or they talk like YouTubers. That's what people were saying. They don't talk like that anymore, and so people miss that. They miss that that New Yorkie Brooklyn, like Italian Tony Soprano, Joey Bag of Donuts thing.
I love it. I love that accent. It's so funny.
Forget about it. Yeah.
Interesting news from Delta Airlines yesterday, and that is that they decided that they were going to suspend their service, their standalone service for members of Congress until TSA gets their funding. So you know how Congress just gets to shuffle up to the front of lines and just get in front of everybody? Delta, at least for one, has said, no, you don't get to do that.
Good. Yeah. They shouldn't be able to do that anyway.
I know. This shouldn't even be allowed like any other time ever.
They're not special.
They are our employees.
Right. This is absurd. I can't believe this is even
know.
a thing. We should all be outraged by this.
Right? It's
God,
just, but I mean, good on Delta for at least putting a pause on it, for crying out loud.
It should be paused like forever.
Forever and ever. Phil, just let these next few things run because I have several examples of Democrats that are still, even though there's all this evidence that you just saw of how well it's going with ICE, there are still Democrats complaining. One of them being Ayanna Pressley, who said rogue ICE agents have no business at our nation's airports. This has nothing to do with public safety because it's making everyone else less safe. This is all just meant to intimidate. The cruelty is the point.
Okay, Ayanna.
Are you not seeing the videos?
No, she's not.
Oh my God.
Again,
She's
with the
just
messaging.
one.
Again.
Yeah. And then, oh yeah, Chuck Schumer.
God bless
This is,
them.
you guys, I cannot. Just
Everywhere ICE goes, trouble follows. We've seen that.
Right.
And it is highly likely the airports will be no exception. No one trusts that ICE is going to make things better.
Once again, ICE agents have arrived here in Philadelphia, but I do want to point out, this is an empty line right now. We are standing in the middle where travelers come to check in for TSA. Yesterday, this was all the way back to the garage. So good news today, lines aren't too bad.
Drama king.
Chuck Schumer.
He's a drama king. Yep. Nice acting. Love it.
Tammy Duckworth, it's unforgivable that Republicans would rather let ICE terrorize families at airports than give TSA workers a check and enact the extremely common sense reforms needed to protect citizens from being killed in broad daylight. Stop the chaos. Get ICE out. They're literally handing out water.
I
Tammy,
know, right?
Calm down.
Like, just such drama queens.
It's so ridiculous. Katie Porter also similarly
Of
saying
course.
ICE makes us less safe. Zoran Mamdani, ICE doesn't belong at our airports. Our Office of Immigrant Affairs has updated guidance and you can call their legal hotline. And then he gave the number. I was like, what? For what? What is this
Whatever.
even for?
Go eat some
what
more rice with your hands.
I mean, what the hell?
Whatever.
And then Bill Maloogian made a point that I don't think a lot of people are aware of, at least I wasn't. And he said this has kind of flown under the radar. Yes, ICE's frontline deportation officers are funded, but their civilian support staff and non-law enforcement personnel are not. They haven't been paid since the shutdown began. So they might not be the ones that are physically removing the immigrants, but they are crucial support for the ICE officers who are. So there's other people that are impacted by this shutdown that it's easy to forget. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The thing that really bothers me the most is that our politicians aren't affected by the shutdown.
I know.
That's if they were affected by the shutdown, then we would see stuff happening, but they're not. And that's always the case. And it pisses me off. And I wish that we could change that somehow. And I don't know how we make that happen. They're just never affected ever.
I know. It's maddening. Absolutely maddening. Here's a little AI. This is AI. I'm sure that once you start seeing it, you'll realize that no disclaimer was actually needed. But somebody put together this AI video of Trump having ICE agents at airports.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your new captain speaking. Our beautiful ICE officers are now in charge of this airport. That's right. We are the captains now, bitches. To all my illegal aliens, we have a special plane just for you. We'll give you free tacos and cervezas, but we're getting you the hell out of our country. Adios, amigos. If you're a crazy Democrat terrorist, please report to your nearest TSA checkpoint for a full cavity search. You'll probably enjoy that, believe me. Anyone wearing a MAGA hat will get to board first, and they will travel first class all the way.
I love it. That is so great. AI can be really fun. It can be fun.
That's a reason to love AI right there. Also, this is ahead of our talks, but it's also hilarious. Josh Sider, our friend, who's been on the show before, he did the most ridiculous. He passed by like some brownstone that had an F ICE flag waving.
Yeah.
And here is what he rang the doorbell and then had this conversation.
Oh my God.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. I don't know if you're aware. I just wanted to make you aware. I saw the flags that are flying, and Trump just passed a new law that only gay retards are allowed to fly those flags.
Oh my God.
So I didn't know if you were one of them or...
No.
You might want to think about taking those down then. You're not gay and retarded?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, yeah, you might want to think about taking those down. I heard they're handing out tickets for it.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, so I just wanted to make you aware of that.
Oh my God, Josh.
Right now. Okay, all right, you guys have a great day, okay? All right, take care.
I love him so much.
Oh my God, that was the greatest, Josh. That was so great. I had not seen that until right now.
So good.
Excellent.
So good.
I love how he's like shirtless. He's like, hey, you're gay and retarded.
I know, just so randomly shirtless. He is perfect. All right, now to some fun talks. I want you to imagine, because the caption is not on the screen, but I want you to imagine that the caption for this video said, what it's like bathing your firstborn compared to what it's like bathing your second child and all future children.
Okay.
Please enjoy. This is the firstborn.
Firstborn. Yeah. And this is secondborn. Totally. Yes. Who was the second born? Raise your hand. That was me. That was me. I don't even have a baby book. Yeah, I have like 3 things in my baby book. Like she was born. That was it. You guys.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I just love that so much. Also, there's a guy who's copying, not exactly copying, but trying to copy or emulate those amazing folks that do parkour.
Yeah.
Have you seen this guy? He's so funny. So this is amazing. Wow. I don't know how they do it. Here's him.
Yo!
Oh my God.
Oh my God. That would be me and you right there. Right. Totally. Oh my. It's so great. I love him. Oh my God. Parkour.
He's got it.
Without AI.
Parkour.
There
Yay.
it is. Parkour. Parkour. It's so great.
And then you guys, I died laughing. Like I was crying laughing at this. I know you guys have seen all the videos where, you know, somebody does something ridiculous and then the comment sections absolutely explode. And the commenters are a zillion times funnier than I could even begin to ever be. And I appreciate them so much. So there's a woman who could not speak. She was laughing so hard at the comments about this video. You can barely understand her. So it's good that they are on the screen for you to read because you will not want to miss any of these. Behold.
I've been laughing for 15 minutes straight. I'm going to show you a video and then I'm going to show you the comments.
Yeah, dude, I said I wanted a mullet and this is what the barber gave me. I don't think this is a mullet.
Looks sick, my lord. Maybe they didn't hear you correctly. How many shillings did you pay for that cut? Did you specify which century you wanted them on from? Tomfoolery in the front, knavery in the back. He gave you the 1-2 buckle my shoe special. Go to the Renaissance Fair immediately. Did you go to the barber for
7 years
it's honestly not that bad. It's substantially worse. And you just river danced without saying the word. The bangs are a little short, but other than that, I hate it. What does your barber do for a living?
Oh my God.
Oh God.
I was crying. That was so good.
7 years ago.
Oh my gosh. All right. It is time for some reviews and thank yous. The reviews obviously come from our Apple Podcast platform where you guys have just been crushing it with leaving us reviews. Thank you so much for that. Here is the first one.
Okay, the perfect morning show. I give the show 37 stars on a scale of 1 to 5. Oh my God, I love that. The chicks are my spirit animal. As a fellow Gen Xer who is quite fluent in sarcasm, the Chicks on the Right show really speaks to me. I love the mix of news stories and cultural issues. And of course, the commentary is chef's kiss. It's hilarious when the chicks get spicy. Also, the weekend interviews are a delight. I love having that bonus on the weekends. I love how they are fair with criticism and art, sycophantic in their praise. Megyn Kelly, for one, they love her outspoken support of women's rights, transing of the kids, men and women's sports and spaces, but can still call her out on her support and lack of criticism of Candace Owens. Yes. The X feed is also a must follow. There are not many people that are unapologetic about their views and bow to no one while maintaining that requisite humor. We love to laugh at the snappy comebacks. If you are new to the show, run, Don't walk and take it all in. Thank you. So sweet.
Love that. Here is another.
Above all others, if you want dry and monotone political and cultural commentary, this is not the place. If you want lively and fun discussion of what's going on in our country from the point of view of two normal, this is the right place. A welcome alternative to droning, repetitive morning news shows or anytime. No, then I might ask, why are you gay?
Yes.
Yes.
Also from Venmo, Dana Spain said, morning from Arizona, beautiful chicks, countdown to Camp Tono. Dad joke Wednesday, drinking negatively affects your liver. That's why I always drink positively and with a pure heart.
I love it.
A recipe called for 5 potatoes cubed. I thought 125 potatoes was a bit excessive. Take my mashed spuds.
That's great.
From Kelly Wiseman, Dad Joke Wednesday Manilas. Where do lizards go when their tails fall off? The retail store. Have a fabulous day, jerks. All my love. XOXO. Tracy Woofenden said, Dad Joke Wednesday. Why don't big cats play poker in the safari? Too many cheetahs.
I love it.
Been watching Locals and Facebook since 2020 when I got your book, authorized copy, plus it is signed.
Aww.
I love this Venmo, no QR, so I searched. I was hoping I had the correct account. And yes, you do. Liz Taylor, Dad Joke Wednesday. If Bigfoot pees standing up in the wood, what does his girlfriend Sass do? Sasquatch. Over on Locals, Casa Donata said, hey ladies, loved Hammer. Welcome back, Daisy. I read Alexis Wilkins this morning because LH Gray, who is amazing, posted her. So we so need to vote this year. This whole grift is well coordinated.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. I mean, you've got to read that thread.
It's very interesting.
Roth Lady Wright said, if you can't figure out how to change your effing name, get your birth certificate, which I might remind you, all moms must also present their child's birth certificate to play any sports, go to any school, any daycare. So if as a woman, you can't change your name after marriage, better yet after divorce, then in my opinion, you probably can't wipe your own ass. And you not only shouldn't vote, you shouldn't birth children or drive an effing car. Disaster averted, you dumb ass Democrats.
Agreed. I totally agree.
She mad.
I'm mad too. Why would you not be able to do any of those things? That's true.
She also said, I don't mean to be a bitch, but all the wrong people are dying lately. I mean, I'm just saying, we don't really know, but I know this. People take all the seats. I don't have enough migraine meds.
I'm right there with you.
Now you.
Marcy Perales. Good morning, Mock and Daisy. Dad Joke Wednesday. Why did the koala get the job? He was coal-fired.
Coal-fired?
Coal-fired.
I thought it was going to be qualified.
It says coal-fired. Just take my.
Oh no, because look at the next one.
Oh, let's try again. Good morning, Mock and Daisy. Dad Joke Wednesday. Why did the koala get the job? Because he was qualified. Just take my bear money. Much love. There it is.
Coal-fired is a whole different.
I was like,
that's
what?
Not funny.
What is that? Supernova. Dad Joke Wednesday. I tried drag racing yesterday. It is brutal trying to run in those heels. Catherine Richards 7976. What presidents were the greenest? The Bushes.
That's cute. I haven't heard that one before.
I haven't either. Marcy Perales, please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to this podcast if you haven't already done so. It really helps our wonderful chicks. Thanks. Thank you, Marcy. G White 053. Why don't skeletons fight? They don't have the guts. Supernova, 6 out of 7 dwarves are not happy. Leah Shalik, 6144. Yesterday, post-show, we had a siren. Shrapnel fell 3 blocks from me. It made a loud and scary boom. Thank God it fell out in the open, not near any buildings or people. I admit, I freaked out a bit. God bless you.
Well, yeah, I would be freaking all the time.
Leah, everybody needs to pray for Leah. Shelly Bolton, good morning, all. What's the difference between a hippo and a Zippo? One is really heavy and the other is a little lighter. That one might be old, but I don't know. It's kind of funny. I think it's funny. I haven't heard that one in a long time, if I've ever heard it. Maxwell Edison's mom, Mr. Tickle, wanted to marry the girl of his dreams, Tess. Unfortunately for him, Tess was reluctant to take his last name.
Testicle would not be a good last name.
Probably testicle. Brian Brumley. People in Alaska think they're seeing eye doctors, but they're actually optical illusions. Take some of my 7,000 for post-lab coffee. God, she has to wait until 2.
It's not even the coffee at that point. I am just going to be ravenous. Like I will want to eat everything.
I cannot do that. I am not a faster. I don't know how you're doing this. Aaron Krieger. I'm sorry. I suck at your name, Aaron. What do you get when you cross a dad joke with a rhetorical question? Happy Dad Joke Wednesday. Take my money. Okay. Catherine Richards 7976. Who cuts the grass on Walton's Mountain? Lawn boy. How to repeat the joke because it's my favorite. It's really
a good one.
Crystal Grid Art 3610. Sending prayers for Brian's wife Barb.
Why? What's happening?
I don't know. We need to know what's happening with Brian's wife Barb. Leah Shalek 6144. I was literally writing thank yous to all the wonderful people here when a siren went off. Lots of booms, but none near me. Take my shekels. Oh, Leah.
I could not do this. I could not do it. I don't know how they do it.
I don't either. West Virginia Fruit Loop. Why was the truck towing a trailer full of donkeys pulled over? Because they were hauling ass.
Literally.
Marshaw in 2027. Hi, chicas. Grandpa here from New Mexico. Why should you never throw grandpa's false teeth at a vehicle? You might dent your car.
Denture.
Get it? Madman 1965. If you think swimming with dolphins is expensive, try swimming with sharks. It cost me an arm and a leg. Happy hump day, ladies. I love you. We love you. Supernova. I farted on my wallet. Now I have gas money. Oh my God.
Terrible.
Cora Kendall 7519. Random thought. Is it possible that the Catholic Church is so ignorant to the danger Islam poses that they think by taking their side against Israel, they will coexist with them once Israel is destroyed? I don't know what their thought process is, but it's not good.
I don't want any part of it.
I don't either. It's not good. It's not helpful.
Mm-mm.
Shelley Bolton. I used to have insomnia until I started sleeping in the fireplace. Now I sleep like a log. I know that was bad. Take my firewood money. Love you guys. Aaron Krieger, quick sponsor plug. I've carried a Ridge wallet for like 4 years and it's still like new. I love it. Best wallet I've ever owned. I love that.
Yeah, because they can't, I mean, it can't wear out. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah. Karen Elliott, 2903. Watch out for dogs licking you if you use CG. CG.
Watch out for dogs licking you if you use CG.
What's CG?
Oh, cow guys.
Cow guys.
Cow guys.
All right. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a good point because dogs they enjoy the tallow. They
like lotion in general. So they would, yeah, totally. Cynthia Shorten 5348. Love you, Nillas. Thanks for showing up for us every day. We love you guys.
Aww.
D Show 3279. Thank you for that super sticker. And D Show 3279. If Marco Rubio becomes president, can we call the White House Casablanca? I would love that. Teresa CTM retired USN 03. What's crazy is there are so many videos now complaining about the fact that ICE is actually a diverse organization. They totally slur them in these videos. Why? Because like there's a lot of, I talked to my daughter about that the other day. She was asking about ICE and I was like, there's a lot of like Hispanics that work at ICE and they're happy to do it. Like, it's interesting how, so many people on the left will diss that. And then they'll be like, they're these crazy white people. It's not, it's a lot of like proud Hispanics that work at ICE. So go figure. Supernova. What do you call an elephant that isn't relevant? Irrelevant. Laura Burns 499 saw the Trump ICE video this morning before the show. Hilarious.
It is a good one.
Teresa CTM retired USN 03. What's green and has wheels? Grass. I lied about the wheels. Okay. All right. Bad duck. How do you starve a Democrat? Hide their EBT card under the work boots. I love happy JW. Happy Joke Wednesday. Jose, Texas 15. Why did the briquette lose its job? It was coal-fired. I'll go sit down now. Just take
that was a good save. That was a nicely done save.
Marcy Perales. Barb is having a heart cath this morning.
Oh,
okay.
All
right. Everybody needs to pray for Barb. And Brian.
Brian said, wonder who wrote that review. That was you, Brian? Oh, yay. Okay. That makes all kinds of sense.
Yeah, because sometimes I can see them in the right corner, but I can't.
It's when they're long and then I have to expand to read the whole thing. Okay. And that's what I screenshot. The name goes away for some reason.
All right. Because I was like, I can't.
Speaking of names, you guys remember how yesterday I told you that Phil was doing the thing with his name? So today producer Phil is Philodendron.
It's Philodendron. That's his name today. No, but you can't see Phil. He's there. He's listening.
You can't see him, but
right.
he is
Phil
there.
is here. Everybody have the best Wednesday ever, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Hello, beautiful people. This is the Chicks on the Right's Indian correspondent. Thank you for watching or listening. Be very sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date on all of their delicious content. Okay, thank you. Come again.
Okay.